out here in Las Vegas. I think this might be the location where somebody bombed a Tesla. They can't pin out who done it. Last night there had been big talk on at Tesla did to their employees, and Elon Musk like, I don't understand why people are blowing up their Tesla. Hopefully we can figure that out. And they're like, I hope we can figure that out too. Maybe I can ask the news people for what they think about the whole thing. But I think so the news is out here and everything, and so yeah. But yesterday the talk was very insightful. I feel like, one of the things that I think that Elon Musk said is that, we're saying, just like, how do you deal with people? I think he was like, well, nobody's perfect, and he was saying, I did a clip where he was talking about how nobody perfect, but you try to be more perfect every day, and then you try to help, and eventually you learn, and that was really kind of great, awesome to think about. So he does want to say, I also need to take accountability for my actions, and all that was very inspiring and informative. The biggest thing I wanted to say is that the biggest reason a lot of people will say, oh yeah, he's just trying to make money, he's just trying to be a rich person, and I feel like he also touched on that about most corporations are here to make money. I feel like that's the biggest part. The one thing I always thought was crazy, that there's all these corporations there to like make money and make money, and he's like, well, my mission is actually providing a good and service, actually make the energy that I put out more greater than the value that I put out to the world, more than the value that I take in, like adding value. And that's like what you say, that mission of any corporation is to add value by providing the products and service. Like is the amount of things that they took in and put services and put out is worth more, and that's a definition of his definition of profits. It was interesting, but yeah. Are you guys leaving? I got a question for you guys. You guys have any ideas of why there has been like a lot of people hating on Elon and blowing up Teslas and stuff? Because he was talking about that. He said he wasn't sure what it was. You think it's politics? So okay, so then you guys assuming that it might have something to do with his political affiliate? Okay. So, okay, the news people were saying that they assume that it had nothing to do with their political. But yeah, why people are blowing up Tesla, but I don't know. Do you think that maybe it has something to do with it? But if people don't say why they upset, then so people need to really say like why are they upset, and make actual like clear states on why are they upset and what they need to change. Because Elon Musk also was talking about taking credibility for his actions and trying to make changes, and he say if he taking anything out. Like, I understand, like, some people are mad because they're losing their jobs and stuff, but if they feel like their job was really needed, then they could, write to Doge and say that, no, like, these things are actually needed, and then he's probably not going big, because he said there was enough waste to, if the issue is, something that people actually care about or is necessary or something, they're not going to really touch it. But also, the late guy was saying, we lose funding every year, but he felt like we lose more funding this year because of those. But maybe that's just his belief. I don't know. But yeah, I feel like changes are not going to be made. But I believe that it's great that people are working together to stand up for what they believe in, and to protect things that matter. There's a lot of problems with the government. We all can agree that the government have a lot of problems, like these issues, like we're not spending enough money on forestry has always been an issue, and that maybe this whole defundalization also will help bring more issues to the fact that we need more money for things like the parks and stuff, and there might be more money for parks like that if we're not wasting money on other things that are not needed. So, and they also definitely need more money into mental health service. I feel like they definitely need more help taking care of the poor and stuff. And a lot of people say that. But yeah, I feel like it's really good that people are standing up for the rights, standing up for things. But it's really, people got to also be very clear on their missions. I just can't be like, I don't like it, and not really doing the research or the study to really understand what they don't like. Because yeah, we all got to work together to try to make this country and this planet better. And so yeah, that's one of the biggest missions that he talked about is that sustainable abundance for all. That's really one of the biggest things he talked about, like sustainable abundance for all. That's his master plan part 4, like the beginnings of it. He's working on he said he's working on his master plan part 4. Like you say, not that master part 3 is going to take so long to accomplish that he's going to start working on master plan part 4. Is that master part 3 is like a transition all planet, all energy to make all energy on the planet sustainable. Yeah. Making but now he's like, well, we need to make a sustainable, we want a sustainable abundance for all. Which is very crazy to think about. He's like, it's really he's like saying it's really kind of crazy to think about that any good or services that a person might want, who they are on the planet, they're human, they could just get a robot, bring them any good or provide them any good or services to them, for something that is affordable. He didn't say for free, but he says that they are able to, that they are able to buy pretty much any good and service, which is making good and service more affordable for all people. But he said if anybody could provide any good and service, does that mean that homelessness is no longer a thing? Is war hunger not going to be a thing? If you can just if you have access to any good, able to get any good service you want, and that is going to be affordable. Maybe that would be like the end of homelessness, and that'd be kind of crazy to think about. I mean, we definitely should think about because right now I feel like there's enough. resources out there to end homelessness. Just the willingness to do so is another thing. Wish he could see what he's talking. You know, and yeah, you say sustainable abundance for all. That's one of the things he was saying, and that's really trying to think about that, like sustainable abundance for all. He's like, we want a future where, you know, like that is bright, that is clean, that the planet is taken care of, everybody is taken care of, and that's really what my dream is too. Like, we want a dream that you know, the sky is blue again. We live in a world that doesn't pollute anymore. That everybody have a purpose and a place in this world, and really to accomplish their dreams and their ambitions. But yeah. And another thing he's also want to talk about is that, you know, a lot of people think he's just out there to make money, but he's like, oh, I'm a richer person on the planet. I could literally be doing anything I want. I could be on a beach somewhere, drinking, and with very attractive people. You know, he friends with movie stars and actors and all that kind of stuff. He could just be hanging out with the most beautiful people on the planet on a beach somewhere. But instead, he's out here trying to solve all the world's problems in his own unique way. And I think that's what we all should be doing, is trying to solve the world problems in our unique, beautiful way. And, you know, and I think that, you know, yeah, not everybody see the world the same way, and that's okay. Because that's what creates checks and balances. That's what creates a balance of beliefs, and that we all in this together. Like, we all believe this one thing, some people believe that thing, and somewhere in the middle there's a truth. Somewhere in the middle there's a truth. Some people believe that, some people believe this. Somewhere in the middle there's a truth. You know? And, you know, so, like, if the whole world was this way, one belief, then we would have truth. And if the whole world were this way, then we also would not have truth. So we have to have different types of beliefs and ideas to kind of balance the world out in a way, and to give checks and balances. Like, it's very scary, you know, scary time. We want to make sure that the computers and the technology that is made with everybody, with the needs and wants and dreams and desires for all people. And it's very good that we all standing up for our rights and getting behind, because I feel like it's very necessary for people to stand up for their rights, because the technology, once it is facilitated, once AI become online, once the robots become a thing where, like, they turn on and start working, we really got to have the values of the machine really in check. Like, who knows, the government might be ran by a computer one day. Maybe Elon Musk is building that robot, the computerized government right now, so he can fire all the government employees. I don't know. That'd be one way to get rid of a lot of ways to just hire robots. But yeah. But though, you know, we gotta program the robots to have our own thoughts and beliefs and ideals that the best tailor our wants and desires. And it's very important for us all to consider our own beliefs and our own wants and desires. Because once we build this machine, like we're not going to be able to turn it off. It's going to be like the Aladdin. It's going to be like the, like the one part where the guy stole the hat and the wand from the wizard, right? And Mickey Mouse go and he casts a spell on the Fantasia 2000, right? So Fantasia 2000, he casts a spell on the broom handle, and he say he walks it and he programs it, right, with the wand, and he like programming it with his wand like a machine. And you get the machine to carry water, right? You get the machine to carry water, right? And it fill up and to carry water down from the river all the way up into his basin, right? You have a big basin that he is in his house, right? And then he's taking a nap, right? And he wakes up and he's finding that the basin is overfilling. And so he break it up into little pieces. But then each little piece have a mind of their own. And they all started storming down the river. Filling the thing, and he's like, now his whole house is flooded, and he's swimming out. And then I forget what happens. You wake up, it was like all a dream. But that's what we gotta figure out. Like, we gotta figure out what we gotta really think about. Like, as a genie in the bottle, you gotta be careful what you wish for. But so that's what's great about people questioning. Well, that's what's good about people questioning these things, putting their own personal input into it, because it's like it's beneficial to grow us all together. Like, we all gotta figure out what is that we gotta do and how we do it and what's the best way to do it. Put all the inputs in and do it, and you figure out what the most effective way to actually build this new form of AI government that we are bringing ourselves into. AI abundance that Elon Musk was talking about, because it's happening. If he not the one doing it, the Google is doing it, Facebook is doing it. A lot of these companies are all building their AI machines that are going to be carrying the buckets of water for us. But we got to be able to tell it when to stop. And what and what is too much. There was a guy driving by with music blaring. But we just gotta fit out what our dreams, what our ambitions, what we're gonna do. It's like, well, what if life is so easy? Like, Elon Musk is like, well, you're always going to have difficulties. You're always going to have problems with things, and things that, like, your job is like the robot. And then the one lady yelled up from the crowd, one of the taxi employees was like, "Is the robots taking our job?" That's what he literally yelled up to Elon Musk yesterday. And Elon Musk laughed. It's like, "No, you getting promoted. You're gonna be the king of the robots. The robots are all gonna work for you, and you're gonna be promoted to manager of all the robots, or your little flock of robots. You're all gonna be shepherds of robots, robot shepherds. You know, and that's like people are gonna have like their own little flock of robots. Everybody gonna have their own little flock of robots so they can manage. I don't know. I don't know about all that, but you know, and then think about like, I'm also thinking that you got much it costs to manage a car, right? You got a car, you gotta change the oil, you gotta change the brakes. It's take a lot to manage a vehicle. Yeah, the vehicle is nice to have. It makes you money, everything, but you still gotta pay to maintain it. And how much is it cheap? It's really cheaper to have a car than have a robot and have a person all the time. You still gotta maintain it. You gotta have to pay for it. You gotta service it, all the things. You gotta give it a place, a home, all these things. But you think robots will take over like in iRobot? I mean, I think it's kind of, yeah, I think iRobot is very good. I think Elon Musk said that something like iRobot will happen. But yeah, in that movie, that the robot kind of took over and became very like, and it became very scary how much control that robot had. A big AI robot in the movie. But the fact that even still they was able to solve the problem. And that's one of the reason I think Elon also was talking about creating multiple AI models and all the other things. Because the thing is that, like, we had created a movie about the problems with AI, the problem with robots. We also understand the problem, and we can also think of ways to solve it. The issues. So I don't know. Yeah, it's funny. It's Chinese woman robot. But it's kind of crazy that we're like the problem with the future. That the problem with humanity now today is that we don't know how to talk, how people talk to other people, right? We all playing these dystopian futures of women and men having relationships with machines, and I'm like, I feel like that's already happening. And like, I feel like we already have our tours that we bring in our bedrooms, and we on our phones all the time, and we don't actually interact with other people. I mean, how is that different than, that's pretty much the same thing as a full robot. If we having the little tour that that, that looks like the, you know, and robots, and it's just going to be another tour. And if people still think it's awkward when we're having, if you spend a lot of money on your tours, and um, like when you could just be like getting a real human, like why don't you spend that much energy and effort on finding relationships with real humans instead of it's hard. Like robot wives and war, like why can't we just work together? Why can't humans like talk to other humans and find relationship? We all lonely, we all discouraged. I think that's one of the things that um we need to find solutions for it. Like how we can get technology that's supposed to bring people together in a meaningful way, because it's like somehow bring people together. Like we have so many people so closely entertained. We got 25 people watching this live stream, all kind of centered around me. So we have all these people around me, 10,000 people on my YouTube channel. But yet, at the same time, there's nobody actually here. If I go for a Tesla robot, where I get one, yeah, I think anybody probably would. Um, and if you, that's the problem is like if you can't get that's one of the things I'm worried about, is like what about the people that can't afford robots? They can't get the loan, or can't get the credit, or don't have enough money or financing to be able to afford a robot. I'm worried about that. Like, are they just going to be like stuck in poverty? They don't, I don't know, but I'm sure we going to come up with solutions, hopefully, for all these problems. What do you mean, can you be my robot? Oh, you're a human. You're probably better than a robot. That's pretty funny. Like, maybe, yeah, it's like, would it be cheaper to just, sometimes people, would be, you know, Yeah, I'm not dating no robots. I'll just find me a real wife. Hopefully one day. Maybe I could get a robot to help me find a wife. I don't know. Or maybe... A lot of people talk about like, oh, we don't need to have families no more because people are going to live forever. But if people live forever, that would be really sad existence to live forever without a wife or kids or